Thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate 20 years of impact through CityBuild's workforce training program. Now, before we get deep into our speaking program, which I assure you will not disappoint today, I want to provide a little bit of history about the CityBuild program for those of you who may not be as familiar of like what this program has done and what it's all about. Prior to CityBuild's formation, there wasn't a collaborative workforce system like the one we have today. There was a multitude of detached pre-apprentice programs which created a challenging environment for our job seekers and employers alike. Employers found themselves having to reach out to various organizations to find reputable and strong referrals for employment. As San Francisco's population grew and construction expanded across the city, then Mayor Gavin Newsom and Supervisor Sophie Maxwell, who's joined us in the audience today, sought out Dr. Laura Luster to research and explore the potential of a program like CityBuild and the outcomes that it could offer for residents in San Francisco. With that seed planted, CityBuild was created through the collaboration amongst the Mayor's Office of Economic and Workforce Development, the labor trades, our private employers, community organizations, and educational institutions like City College. Its creation established a centralized network that supports training of career seekers and employers in the building trades and construction alike. And for the last 20 years, CityBuild has been involved in just about every major construction project in the city, from my alma mater, Mission Rock, to Chase Center, to Salesforce. CityBuild has trained and delivered a powerful, ready workforce to build the modern landscape of San Francisco. It is through these partnerships that CityBuild has trained and placed over 2,000 San Francisco residents across our training programs with close to 90% of a placement rate. That's impressive if you've ever done this work. Similar to our city, our graduates represent the diversity that is the beautiful fabric that makes San Francisco the city that it is. Now, as much as I think as I'm dapper, I know you didn't all come here to see me today. So I'll get on with it. It's now my honor and great pleasure to invite to the podium someone who's wasted no time in making his impact in the city. And I'm just gonna call him my work twin because I also rounded the corner on 100 days. But having recently completed his first 100 days in office, Mayor Daniel Lurie has been a strong proponent for building more housing throughout the city and developing a more vibrant downtown, which is held by a strong and wide-ranging entertainment and hospitality industry. And I'm excited because you know who's going to ensure that we have a trained workforce to support building all of that housing? You got it. But CityBuild. Is without further ado, I invite the mayor.
You do look dapper. You do look dapper. Thank you, Director. I really appreciate the introduction. It's wonderful to have you all here. It's obviously an incredible honor to have the Speaker Emerita, Nancy Pelosi, here. I want to welcome California Labor Secretary Stewart Knox, our City Attorney David Chu, my colleagues on the board. Carmen Chu is here also. I want to recognize former Supervisor Sophie Maxwell as well. Supervisor Shamann Walton, Supervisor Jackie Fielder, Supervisor Joel Engardio, and Supervisor Matt Dorsey. Thank you all for being here. If I missed a couple of you, my apologies. It's also great to see so many of our partners in labor and community in the audience here today to help us celebrate this historic milestone. Thank you for being here. I want to recognize and congratulate the students who will be graduating later this evening. I hope you're all looking forward to the opportunities ahead, and I want you to know that as a city, we are grateful for your help in rebuilding San Francisco. And as the director just said, CityBuild has had quite the journey. What started as a team of 3 has grown into an internationally recognized model, showing other cities how to train people for in-demand jobs. What makes this program truly special, and why so many cities want to follow it, is it prepares people for real jobs, good paying union jobs. These are careers in construction, electrical work, carpentry, plumbing, operating, engineering, you name it. We're talking about graduates who are working on affordable housing projects, critical infrastructure, climate resilient construction. And these are not just jobs. They are careers that allow San Franciscans to stay in San Francisco, raise families here, and contribute to our neighborhoods. We're not just training people at CityBuild, we're transforming lives and building communities. We know our city programs are working when we see the results firsthand, and CityBuild delivers impact directly to the communities that need it by connecting residents to real opportunities. It trains them, it gives them skills, and it sets them up for lifelong careers. Every day, every single day, I talk about San Francisco's comeback and about the need to invest in our downtown and our neighborhoods, and the need to build more housing throughout our neighborhoods, and so that the next generation of San Franciscans can afford to raise their kids here. In all of those efforts, we look directly to CityBuild and the partners who make it possible: employers, contractors and business, labor and community. When we build out our infrastructure from San Francisco to Hetch Hetchy, we call in the plumbers, the cement masons, and the sheet metal workers. When we talk about building up our port, we look to pile drivers and sprinkler fitters and operating engineers. And when we want to improve our streets and public transportation fleets, we call on the laborers, carpenters, and electricians. CityBuild is helping to drive San Francisco's comeback. When we talk about rebuilding the city, it's not just about buildings. It's about people. It's about investing in San Franciscans, in their talent, in their drive, and in their future and our future. In a moment when our city is most definitely on the rise, we need programs like CityBuild more than ever to help us lay the foundation for a better and stronger future. So with that, I am proud to present this proclamation. You gotta come back up here. So I get to do this now. It's really cool. This is CityBuild Day in San Francisco. All right. You're not here to listen to me. As you said it, and I'm saying it too, I now have the pleasure of introducing someone who has been a long-time champion for San Francisco and for the CityBuild program. She supported this work at the very beginning. She's also been a tireless partner, working to make sure we have the resources to support our port, transportation systems, and the major capital projects that have shaped the future of San Francisco. Please join me in welcoming Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Ioana, thank you for your leadership, and to all of you who are here, who helped develop CityBuild, who helped it grow. Sophie, Maxwell, my darling, I love you. I love your mom, and it's wonderful to see you. It has been said in the mayor's remarks and in Ioana's remarks that this is about building the city, housing, development of downtown, all of that. I'd like to focus on just another part of this. CityBuild is near and dear to my heart because right from the start we saw the possibilities. that young people, if you're going to talk about things, you have to have a trained workforce. If you're going to have a trained workforce, we want it to be for them to have the ability to have collective bargaining. We do believe that the middle class, but we want to develop in San Francisco, has a union label on it. So all of this is connected. But I wish that all could have been here the other day. How many days? It was 2 days ago, when we heard the mayor talk on Earth Day about Climate Week and what he had to say about San Francisco and its role in preserving the planet. It was about jobs, jobs, jobs. But the plan for jobs has to have the workforce development that goes with it. So in addition to the housing, which I consider to be a health issue, health and housing together, it's so vital to the well-being of people. This issue in this Climate Week that has been declared, especially I want to talk about what the mayor had to say. I can never do justice to the vision that he presented, the knowledge he knew. He demonstrated the plan that he had to get things done. But it's all connected to CityBuild, a trained workforce, and to have the beautiful diversity of our community reflected in that workforce, and CityBuild has done that. Now, I just want to mention one other person who has been, I've watched her grow, Megan Pryor. Because, of course, we're all looking for ourselves. This many pictures, we all have to be in it. Right? Then the babies, the whole, and now she's just like the first. What's the exact title, Megan? There we go. And this is. But to see it happen before our very eyes, and to see it be consistent with the needs of the city, especially in this Climate Week, I'd like to mention that the mayor's plan is so remarkable. I wish everyone could hear it in the world to see how San Francisco is leading the way. But to make the point that that building of saving the planet is connected to the trained workforce. So congratulations to the Jesuits, recognition to all of the people that the mayor acknowledged. I was once in Africa, boiling hot. We were at the dedication of a library for one of our colleagues, and everybody got up, recognized everybody who was there. So at the end, boiling hot, one gentleman got up, like the 12th speaker, he got up and he said, "To all of the distinguished guests, honors granted." So to all of you, honors granted. To you, Mr. Mayor, thank you for being the catalyst to bring us all together and for mentioning the role that organized labor plays in this. You mentioned the plumbers, I see. I guess we could name all of our representatives. But in any event, thank you for acknowledging that. Is Mr. Gonzalez here? Rudy? No? But, well, Larry, and you have to understand this, why Larry's so important to me. His grandfather, not his father, his grandfather was my first endorsement for Congress 38 years ago. So I have a special place in my heart for the building trades and for that. But in any event, congratulations. Now, am I supposed to be introducing our next guest? Or is Iowena? Let's hear it for Iowena. She's just remarkable.
So much. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, our next guest has visited us all the way from Sacramento today. He has spent his career in shaping education through his work with community colleges in Yuba City and at Calbright. He's been a prominent champion for programming connections between communities, good careers, and through his economic and workforce development work in San Mateo County and in the city of Glendale. Please help me welcome California State Labor Secretary Stewart Knox.
Thank you. I appreciate it. The governor, since his wishes today, obviously we have some budget things going on in Sacramento this week and probably for a few more weeks. But the governor wanted me to provide a letter today on the anniversary, and in terms of his champion of CityBuild, but other efforts under his administration in the last 6 years. I've had the pleasure of the last 2.5 years as the secretary, and before that I was the undersecretary. I will say this governor has funded more workforce and economic development programs in the state of California than any other governor that we've ever seen in the state, and so we really appreciate that. I'll read the letter from the governor. On behalf of the state of California, I'm pleased to welcome all who have gathered to celebrate the 20th anniversary of CityBuild. CityBuild was born from a vision I shared with Supervisor Sophie Maxwell for a construction workforce development program to uplift San Francisco's local economy. Built on the principles that we are stronger together, this community labor partnership has harnessed the power of the City College of San Francisco, community nonprofits, labor unions, and industry employers to refer and train San Franciscans for construction projects throughout the city. Since its inception in 2005, this program has created opportunities to career advancement for socioeconomic mobility for more than 2,600 graduates. Hey, good morning. CityBuild's success has far exceeded my expectations, and it brings me tremendous pride in the program that serves as a nationwide model for now to foster sustainable and inclusive economic growth for the city and for the state of California. It is truly a model. In light of those remarkable achievements, I would like to extend my gratitude to my team in San Francisco's Office of Economic and Workforce Development. While I may have created CityBuild alongside Supervisor Maxwell, you are the reason for the program's far-reaching impacts. As I join you in the spirit of this milestone, I'm wishing you CityBuild a future just as bright as in the next 20 years as you have had in the past 20. So with that, with the wishes of the governor, I think we have a plaque somewhere. It may be down here, it may be somewhere else. We'll present it to you later. All right, congratulations, appreciate it.
We'll find it. Thank you, Speaker Knox. Our next speaker, like many of us, called to this work from the community served and is a dedicated champion of workforce development programs. I know he's taken this lens with him in the work that he does through his office, supporting programming that has supported the creation of more pathways to these good-paying jobs and careers for disenfranchised communities. Please join me in welcoming Supervisor Shamann Walton.
Good afternoon. It's good to see everybody. First of all, I just want to say congratulations on 20 years of CityBuild. You are at the helm at a time over workforce where we get to celebrate milestones like this. So congratulations, CityBuild. I also have to say, Speaker, I'm loving the shoes. But this really is a milestone for San Francisco, and I think the phrase was coined by Shamann Walton, where if you give a man a fish, he will eat for a day. But if you teach them how to fish, they will be able to eat forever and never starve. And that's what CityBuild does. CityBuild is giving people the skills, giving people the training, giving people the opportunity to make sure that they will never go hungry and always will have gainful employment. And many cities try to duplicate the structure that is CityBuild. Having labor and community, city college, all come together to be able to have a program that really provides a pipeline to the workforce is not duplicated anywhere else. And so I'm proud to be a part of the work of CityBuild. I'm proud that that work has started and continues here in San Francisco. As I look out and see some of the former CityBuild directors, we have Chris here, we have Office of Workforce Development Director Josh, we have just a plethora of folks who are responsible for the work. I just want to thank all of you, Pat. I just want to thank all of you for being committed, because their presence here today also demonstrates and shows how important this work is to everyone. So I see a lot of our developers, our construction companies, a lot of other city leadership that is here. Thank you so much for being here to celebrate this milestone. And remember, we have to stay as committed to CityBuild today as we did in the beginning 20 years ago. Thank you, everybody.
Supervisor stealing a little bit of my shine on the acknowledgments there. But no, just to continue on that, none of this work gets done without the people who are guiding that. And so before I introduce our next speaker, if we could just take a quick moment to acknowledge the CityBuild team who did a lot of work to make this happen today. Our Executive Director of OEWD, Sarah Dennis Phillips. I would be remiss to not thank the much older but former leadership of CityBuild and our office team, Josh Arce, Pat Mulligan. I saw Chris Iglesias. Thank you all for the contributions that you have done to make sure that I had a really great start in continuing the work that you began. Now, our next speaker is one of our core community partners, which is so vital to the work that we do to support these people as they're going through their career training. These students come through at all stages of life, and our particular speaker, who I know personally, embraces them as though they were her own family. As you know, when you're delivering training and education, you can't do it in a vacuum. We need wraparound supports. We need to really launch these efforts in order to set people up for success. And Mission Hiring Hall has been a great partner throughout the years of doing that. So at this time, I welcome to the podium the Executive Director of Mission Hiring Hall, Michelle Leonard-Bell.
Super big gulp, the 7-Up big gulp that I'm in front of Speaker Emeritus Nancy Pelosi today. I can't believe it. I'm so honored. Mayor Lurie, thank you for all you're doing. But CityBuild Academy is one of our favorite things to do at CityBuild, at Mission Hiring Hall. I always think we're synonymous with CityBuild. We have been doing this for 54 years. At the beginning of April, we turned 54 years old, and this month CityBuild turns 20 years old. So we have been so honored to be on this journey to change lives and to see the transformation of folks, whether they're re-entering society, whether they're just starting out on their career path, they can find a home in San Francisco in workforce with us. Today, we have so many people in the audience that have supported us for years. I'm proud to recognize our partners at Charity Cultural Services Center, Ashley Chang, Q. Some of our team at Mission Hiring Hall are here today. Omar Del Real, our general manager, Gracie Chavez, who's been with us for 15 years doing just the CityBuild work. We have Jimmy Martinez here and Jordan Roberts. Thank you for all that you do to make us be a great partner. With that, we have more than several people that have graduated this amazing training program. And for many, this is the last program or training they'll ever take. And we have just those people in the audience today. So Rico Hamilton, are you here? Yes, hi Rico. Rico is out at SFO making us look so good. Thank you for all you do, Rico. We have Lena Vong here today. She's a native San Franciscan, and she thought that she was going to just learn to build furniture and start a business building furniture. She's actually building the UCSF Helen Dillard Hospital right now. Welcome, Lena. Thank you. We have Marcus Alvarez here today. He was cycle 19. Hi, Marcus. Marcus is so funny. He made noise so that we would all come sit down today. But he started out as an iron worker, one of the most laborious trades to start out in. He's now transitioned to Local 8. And where are you placed right now? Are you at the SFO terminal right now? No. That's right. Gosh. Congratulations. Thank you. We have Leonard-Bell here. Ayana was cycle 16 of CityBuild Academy. I don't see you. I saw you when we came in. Oh, hi, Ayana. I'm so sorry. The lights. She shows that it's never too late to change course. Ayana held administrative roles prior to coming to CityBuild Academy, but she found her passion in the trades. And Ayana is now a Northern California Carpenters Union apprentice coordinator, like Megan. Look at our women shining. Congratulations, Ayana. Kareem Mayfield, he's a boxer you might know. He was cycle 1 in CityBuild Academy, and it transformed his life. He now owns Soul Champ, which is a gym that starts people out in their career of boxing, and he has been a supporter of CityBuild from the very first cycle. Now, these inspiring stories, they're repeated tens of hundreds of people. But I'm going to mention now one of our favorite graduates, and that's Megan, Megan Pryor. She was cycle 15, and Megan has supported CityBuild from the moment she graduated. She supported Mission Hiring Call, and she's constantly getting women into the field of operating engineering work. And without further ado, Megan, please come and greet us.
Wow. So congratulations, CityBuild, 20th anniversary. Thank you to all the supervisors, constituents, Mayor Lurie, and of course, Madam Speaker, Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi, my friend. So I'm super excited to be here today. CityBuild has changed my life tremendously. When I came to CityBuild, I was like, great, I'm gonna make a career getting a living wage, I'm gonna get good benefits, and I had no idea I would be here today where I'm at. So now I went to the laborers for a little while and just waiting to get into the operating engineers. So I went to the operating engineers, I went through their apprenticeship, I was apprentice of the year, I was volunteer of the year, so I was heavily involved in my union. So when the time came for them to interview me to be apprenticeship coordinator, I jumped at it, and I haven't looked back, and I continue to work. Thank you. Yeah, I continue to work with CityBuild and continue to snatch their graduates up and get them into our apprenticeship program. And it's just great to see some of my colleagues here, like Pierre Middleton, who's now signatory with Local 38 Plumbers Union. So, we've helped with that. And Leonard-Bell, we're closely together. And a couple of our agents are in the back from operating engineers. And so we just work with CityBuild. We do a hands-on forklift class to give them some experience on what it could be like to operate heavy equipment. So I continue to look forward to give back to CityBuild, especially now in my role as the first African-American female apprenticeship coordinator. So thank you. CityBuild gave me the tools to succeed, and especially Uncle Ralph, may he rest in peace. He was very instrumental in my career and me being who I am today. So thank you so much for having me, and again, congratulations, happy anniversary.
All right, we made it. Last speaker. When CityBuild first began 20 years ago, Gavin Newsom wanted to appoint someone that he knew would be an advocate for connecting some of the most marginalized communities across the city, would do the work to create strong partnerships with labor unions as well as the employment partners we were going to need for placement. And since this work, he's gone on to do great things in the city of Oakland, where he's the CEO of the Unity Council that brings community programs, food distribution, senior services, supportive housing, and jobs to Oakland residents. It is my pleasure to invite Chris Iglesias.
Thank you very much for that introduction. Mr. Mayor, Madam Speaker, this isn't a speech. These are just names. I just want to throw out a few names and acknowledge a few folks that really helped us. And the stories are amazing. I can't believe it's been 20 years. We actually started on April 25th, 2005. I remember. I had a little cubicle up there on the 4th floor. So it was just an honor to be in City Hall every day. And just to remind everybody, this was an 18-month pilot program, right? So this wasn't like written in stone. It was a pilot program. We had 18 months. And that made my wife very nervous because she was pregnant. And she's like, you can't leave the redevelopment agency and go run some pilot program. And I go, no, this is like, but I just believe so much in the concept that Dr. Laura Luster wrote, right? And I think we all thought at the time, it's like, this could really work. I mean, if this gets a hold and really takes hold, it could work. So, but I was working for like Jesse Blount at the time, right? Jesse and Michael Cohen. And she's like, well, do you even trust those guys? I'm like, no, not at all, not really. I go, but it's not about trusting them, it's about this concept, right? And who's behind it, right? And including Supervisor Sophie Maxwell. And the supervisor was very clear. She wanted Cypress Mandela in San Francisco, in the Bayview. And so for me, that was like music to my ears because I was actually working for the city of Oakland after the '89 earthquake for DPW, and I learned, I was working in a lot of those meetings, how Cypress was formed, right? So I think for us, we were able to learn a lot on how they did it, but the city kind of took it to the next level for stability and how they placed it and the partnerships with City College and the influence of the mayor's office and everything. So, but I do want to, there's a few folks that I think we need to acknowledge. The building trades, obviously, the community organizations, the Bobby Alvarados, the Larry Mazzola seniors. I mean, it wasn't comfortable for a while. Mike Terrio, and Rudy's not here, so I could kind of talk a little trash about them, but Mike Terrio, everybody stepped up and give and take to put it together. But the real driving force, obviously, was the supervisor and the mayor's office and the community orgs, right? I also want to give a big shout out to Ken Nim, the current CityBuild director. Ken was one of the first employees that we hired. And he was, I think, VVJet at the time. He was in Viz Valley. And I knew we needed to get him on the team because just of his network. But he played so hard to get to try to hire him. He kept saying no. And I was like, Ken, let's come on over. Anyway, we finally got him over. Another person I want to just recognize is Mayor Ed Lee. Because at the time, the mayor, he was the director of DPW, right? And he was an early bird, I was an early bird, so we would meet in the cafe like almost every morning by 7:30, and we would just kind of talk about what was going on, and then we would debate if we were going to get donuts or not. And but that was like our big debate. Like, should we get a donut today? I'm like, we got to get a donut today. And but then he would always check in. How's CityBuild going? How's it going? And then I said, I need to start talking to your team because you have to use it on your projects. And within 2 days, I would be meeting with all the project managers with DPW. So he was really influential to move us along. And I'd like to close by recognizing that CityBuild just kind of continues in all of our lives, and I'm just so impressed. But a couple years ago, I was the MC for Mission Hiring Hall dinner fundraiser, and they were honoring this young man named Alex Barajas, graduate of CityBuild, and so I was going to introduce him. So I get there early, I see him, I go and I introduce myself to him, and he's just a super nice gentleman. He gets up, and he was with his father. And so we started talking, and he said, he went through the academy, he was in a drywall, sheet metal, drywall plaster, yeah. And that eventually he wanted to become an electrician. So we kept talking, and then I said, well, how'd you find out about CityBuild? And he said, well, I was in prison. I got out of prison. They gave me this flyer about the CityBuild Academy, so I went to the academy. I graduated, and now I've been working. And so, I'm like, okay. I go, can I ask you another question? And he says, yeah. I go, well, why'd you go to prison? And what happened? And he told me. And he had a very strong sentence. I was like, I'm not an expert, but it was like when he told me what he was sentenced for and everything, I was like, whoa, okay, he didn't kill anybody or anything like that, but it was a very heavy sentence. So I'm like, okay, I'm not an expert, but how'd you get out? Because that's a heavy sentence. And he says, I was pardoned. I'm like, by who? And he's like, the governor. And I'm like, which one? And he goes, Newsom. And I'm like, really? And he's like, I go, does the governor know that you went to the CityBuild Academy? And he's like, no. I go, well, he's going to know. So we took a picture, and it was in April. And all I remember is, and I don't like send the governor messages very often, but I felt this was important. So I waited to Good Friday, because it was right before Easter, and then I sent him a picture of Alex. I was like, hey, you remember Alex? He went, to the academy, and he's working. So, I think he really appreciated that, to hear that. And the reason I bring that up is because I've been talking to him again, because he did apply for Local 6. And I know he just got interviewed about a week ago. I don't know if John's here, but I'm not putting any pressure on anybody. I'm just saying, he's anyway. So, but it's just the fact that that it's still happening and the impact these have, Dan. And I saw Trent over here. I mean, everybody contributed to it. And so it's just an honor to be here with all of you. Congratulations to all of you. And happy anniversary, CityBuild. Thanks.
All right, folks. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Supervisor Sophie Maxwell.
Hello. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much. I just want to say thank you. That's all I wanted to say is thank you so much. You have changed lives. I was at I was at a store, and this young man came up to me and he said, "Aren't you Sophie Maxwell?" And I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "Well, I just applied for CityBuild and I just got in." He said, "I'm just doing this now, but I am so excited." And I was so thrilled. And I was in somewhere else, and I was getting my nails done at the time. I was getting my nails done. And this young woman came in, and she was talking, and she was a carpenter. And she was about to become a union rep. And so it's real. What we do here is real. I just want to thank you all for understanding how important it is and what you've made our city. You have made it different, and you have made people feel there is a way up. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, I think you see the golden thread here is the power of true public-private partnerships and what can become and the outcomes that we create for communities when we have strong representation. I don't know that many workforce development programs that can talk about having support from the federal level to the state level to then an incoming mayor that is guns blazing here, ready to do the work. So thank you to all of you for spending some time with us this afternoon. I have a couple of photos before you get to that. Special shout outs to all of our employment partners from Swinnerton, Cahill, Nibby, Bolt, Clark, and Webcor. To our union family, Northern California Carpenters, NorCal District Council of Labor's and Labor's Training Center, Larry and the Building Trades, and so many of you who I'll be looking to and making phone calls because, it is budget season. I need help to support these efforts going forward. We have a reception for you all over around the corner here in room 201. And then for those of you that will be remaining for photos, and I'll give you some instructions in a moment, please stay back. But like I said, thank you so much for spending time with us this afternoon, and happy 20th anniversary CityBuild.